Hi guys, for those of you that know me, I fly FPV drones, those things on the wall, but I also like to make stuff. In the past this mainly revolved around cars and stuff, but the last couple of years I've been making all sorts of stuff, furniture and yeah, many different things. Whatever takes my fancy really. Being into FPV drones and that whole scene, I've seen a lot of people getting around on electric skateboards. So I've decided that I wanted to investigate this. Having snowboarded a lot in the past, I found it interesting, the notion of being propelled on a board without going on holiday. Sounds good. Which got me thinking, how far can one of these go? So I really want to investigate this. So I've been building an electric skateboard for this, or with this in mind. The one that I'm about to show you is probably just a prototype to see if I could actually build one, and then probably go on and see how far I can get. So here's the board. It's a cheap board off Amazon. It's 25 quid for the board. I did get a good price. It was supposed to be £60, but it was a returned item, so I only paid £25. It came with trucks and wheels. These are the original wheels that it came with. Not using those. The trucks were rubbish. They had a load of play in them, so I've upgraded and gone for caliber trucks, mainly because I see a lot of the guys in the electronic skateboarding scene use these trucks. I think basically because they got 3 flat sides, so it's easy to mount a drive system to them. They seem really well made for the price, and so I went for a set of those in a nice garish colour. They're the 44-degree angle ones, not the 50s. I've got a couple of reasons that I went for the 44s. Mainly people say on the longboards, for when you're going a bit faster, the lower angle helps stability, but we'll find out. Drive gears at the moment is a 3D printed one out of PETG, carbon fibre filament. I forget which brand, but I'm missing the belt. And this gear here is the wrong pitch. I bought the wrong pitch, so I'm waiting for a belt and the right pitch gear. For motor, I've got a Turnigy D5035 125 kV motor, so low kV but high voltage setup. Gone 10S with 2 zippy 20C batteries, 500 milliamp each, so 10,000 milliamp hours. Should do me for about 10 miles. They're wired in series, if I've got that right way around. I think it was series, not parallel. To give 10S out of 2 5S packs. After a bit of research online, I think this should give me about 10 miles. I've just 3D printed and designed this case for them to go into, so I should be able to make multiple battery packs, if you like, and then just swap them in and out. I'm going to make a better system for swapping this in and out, and then obviously they connect the electronics via this jump lead. As for electronics, I have a VESC, specifically made for electronic skateboards. Is 100 amp constant and 140 amp burst, I think, if I remember correctly. Running the latest firmware now, updated it last night. Running as control system, running Fly Sky receiver from an RC car setup. I just removed the steering wheel, effectively making this one channel. for go and not reverse, sorry, but brake. Configure that to it. Hoping in the future, because this has more capabilities than the standard electric skateboard stuff, that I can run telemetry for a voltage from the batteries and stuff to the controller. I'm probably going to redesign this, 3D print it so it's a bit smaller. I have converted this to run on LiPo power as well. So it used to run on AAs, now is running on a 1400 milliamp 3S pack. So it should last for more than a day's riding, I would hope. Maybe even a couple of days riding. So I don't have to worry about battery power on that. So yeah, like I say, really low kV motor but high voltage. Got the potential to go to 12S. I thought I'd build 10S to start with. It's my first electric skateboard. Get some practice in on this, and then I got the potential. This is rated, the ESC and the motor is rated 12S, so I can bump that up. See what the longevity is like on LiPos, how far I'm getting. Might change my ideas on that yet. But yeah, like I said, this is just a test bed at the moment. So yeah, these need bolting to the board. Yet to do that. Maybe going to come up with a different mounting system. Also need to put a fan in there. I've got the standard Rick from Rick and Morty designed into the top of it, as you do. Went for some chunkier wheels than the standard that I mentioned earlier. 110 millimeters. The originals were 70 millimeters. This should help with top speed, also running over, you know, large stones or something like that, or if I have to go a little bit off-road, hoping to keep this mainly on-road, but should help. A larger rolling radius, that sort of thing. As for design work, the cases and stuff, all designed by me. Here's one of them. Designed in Fusion 360 on a startup license, we can get for free if you're a hobbyist. As you can see, it's in carbon fibre on the digital model, because basically I've designed these to be moulds, so in the future when I'm happy with the design, maybe after a few iterations, that I can cover them in carbon fibre, use them as a buck. There's some risers that I made because I had to raise the height of the truck because of the lower angle of the truck to give me motor clearance. Should have more than enough motor clearance now. They were 5mm spacer. There's the battery casing with the XT90. As for other digital stuff, I used the VESC tool from VECSproject.com, that's a mouthful, to configure my VESC. Good tool. I was originally trying to use the old BLDC tool, but I found it hard to update the firmware. The VESC tool I found a lot better. I could just update the firmware to the latest firmware, then go through, program everything. Was done a couple of hours, a few calculations, and I was done. As for calculations, I'll run you some numbers, because if you found this video you're probably interested in what sort of numbers I'm running on my ESC. So the motor is 45 amp max current, and I set that to 44 just to be conservative, because I don't want to blow anything up. Not that 1 amp would make a difference, but it might. Battery current max for the setup is, I could do 10,000, so 10 amps times 20C, which would be a 200 amp, current max, but this is huge. My ESC is only capable of a burst, I think it was 150 amp, and there's no real need to go any higher than the motor max current. So my it's also, I've set it slightly lower than my motor max current, so it's set at 40, and my regen is set at 1C of my batteries, so that's 10 amps at the moment. I might go to 2C with that, but we'll see how it goes. Basically, these are conservative numbers to start with, see how it performs. I don't want to blow anything up, so just see how that goes, and if I feel it needs tweaking, then I'll probably tweak it up a bit to get the most out of the board, especially on the regen. Try and increase efficiency with it. Yeah, I think that's it. This is the first time doing this sort of video of any one of my builds. I did want to sort of build vlog this, but if you're anything like me, once you get into a project, you just become focused on that and everything else goes to the side. So I started filming stuff and then forgot to film stuff, so it would have just seemed a mess. So I'm doing this video now towards the end, just as a summary of what I'm doing. I probably put a couple more videos out of me riding it, some updates, see how far I get, any modifications that I make, that sort of thing. If you found this video and you're interested, and you want to know more specifics on something, drop a comment and I'll try and get back to you or make another video about it. I'm learning about this as I go. Like I say, it's the first time I've built electronic skateboard, built a lot of things, but this is all new to me. If you're spotting anything that I've done wrong or you think I could do better, then drop that in the comments too. Also like and subscribe, that would mean a lot. Could try and build a channel around this, see how it goes. Alright, I think that's it for now. We'll have one last look at the skateboard. Let me know what you think of my colour scheme. I know it's garish. It kind of reminds me of the hoverboard from Back to the Future, with its garish pink and stuff. Yeah, so I quite like it. Yeah, cool. Alright, cheers.